Hi and welcome to one more tutorial. If you're not subscribed yet to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to click on that bell notification so YouTube will notify you every time I upload a new tutorial. And today I'm so excited to show you how to crochet this mini extra small pumpkin. It works up pretty quickly. It uses a little bit of yarn, so it's perfect for that scrap of yarn that you have sitting around and you have no idea what to do with that. And you can also use it as I am planning to use. I'm planning to make several of this and create some napkin rings for my tablescape for Thanksgiving. And the way I'm doing it, so this is a Dollar Tree napkin rings. You can buy it in a pack of 6, and I just wrapped some ribbon around it. I'm planning to make some with orange, and I will just attach my small pumpkin right here on the top of it, and I think it will just turns out beautifully. I will show you guys after I set up my Thanksgiving tablescape. And let's go ahead, let's see what we will need to create this very quick pumpkin. To make the mini pumpkin, you need some grade 4 yarn, any yarn that you have sitting around. You will also need a crochet hook, and I used the 5mm hook, the H hook. You will need a pair of scissors. You will need a small piece of felt. This one measures 1 inch by 3, and it's like very small piece of it, and a little bit of jute twine that we will use just to make this embellishment right here. And this is all you need. Let's go ahead and learn how to do it. Start the project with a magic ring, and you can use any technique that you'd like to. Go ahead and chain 1 just to secure your magic ring, and inside this magic ring we will work 12 half double crochets. So go ahead. To work the half double crochet, you will yarn over, insert the hook inside the ring, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. So you will have 3 loops on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. So then you have your first half double crochet. Now what we will do, we will work 11 more half double crochets inside this ring. So yarn over, insert the hook inside the ring, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. Again, yarn over, insert the hook inside the ring, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Once you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So I have 3 half double crochets here. Let me go ahead and work my 12 half double crochets. You can stop this video right now and let's come back once we have this first round completed. Now that I have 12 half double crochets, go ahead and find that tail and pull it tight to close the center of the ring, and find that very first single half double crochet and slip stitch. Now on the second round, we will work a round of increases all around. Chain 1, insert the hook back on the same very first stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Once you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now on the same stitch, you will insert the yarn the hook again, grab the yarn and make another single crochet. So now on the next stitch, go ahead and place 2 single crochets on the same stitch. The same thing on the next one. Make 1 and 2, and let's just keep working this way until we get to the end of this round, and then you should have 24 single crochets around on the second round. If you want to pause this video right now and we can get back together once we have the second round finished, and we can move to the third one. So once you get to the end of the second round, just make sure to count back and you have 24 single crochets around. Make sure that you didn't skip any of those increases. 24 single crochets around. Go ahead and slip stitch on the very first single crochet. Now to start that third round, we will work on the back loop only, and this technique, working on the back loop only, will make this detail right here when you look at the bottom of your pumpkin. So this is the top of it and this is the lower part of it, the bottom of it, and working on the back loop only will create this detail right here. So I'll show you guys how to do it. And this whole third round will be worked in back loop only. First of all, chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as our first stitch. And now what we will do in the next 2 stitches, we will place a single crochet, but working on the back loop only. This is our very first stitch. You will see that it has 2, this is the second, this is the first. You see that we have the front loop and the back loop. So instead of insert your hook like this and grabbing both loops, we will insert the hook between them and grab only the back loop. So let me show you. On this very first one, and do not skip this very first one, we did this chain right here is just to start working on the round, but go ahead right here and insert the hook, grabbing the back loop only, grab the yarn and pull up a loop and work a single crochet. This very first one will be a little bit tricky because we have that chain right in front of it, but don't skip that, otherwise the pattern will not work well. On the next stitch, working on the back loop only, you will work another single crochet. Now on the 2 next stitches, we will work 3 double crochet cluster on each one of those next 2 stitches. So to make a double crochet cluster, and for this small pumpkin we will use a cluster of 3, go ahead and yarn over, insert the hook on the back loop only on the next stitch, grab the yarn, so you have 3 loops on the hook, grab the yarn again and pull through 2 loops. So now if we were working a double crochet, we would go ahead and yarn over, pull through all those 2 loops, but now instead we will go ahead and yarn over again, insert the hook on the same stitch, pull up another loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and again yarn over, insert the hook on the same stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We started 3 double crochets, but we didn't finish them up. So now you should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, chain 1. Now go ahead and work another 3 double crochet cluster on the next stitch, yarn over, insert the hook, grabbing only the back loop for this round, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now go ahead and repeat that 2 more times, yarn over, insert the hook inside the same stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. One last time, yarn over, insert the hook on the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And once you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops and chain 1. So now it will be just a repeat. We will repeat all around 2 single crochets, 2 3 double crochets cluster. On the next 2 stitches, go ahead and work 1 single crochet on the first one. On the second one, another single crochet, always making sure for this round to grab the back loop only. So after you make 2 single crochets, go ahead and work 2 3 double crochet cluster, yarn over, insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook on the same space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook again on the same space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Once you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops and chain 1. Now work the second 3 double crochet cluster on the next stitch, one, 2 and 3. And once you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 and then chain 1. Now just keep doing the same thing around, 2 single crochets, 2 3 double crochet cluster until we get to the end of this round. I will keep working on mine and I will meet you guys right here once we have this round finished. Got here at the very last stitch of my 3rd round, and on the 2 last stitches you should have 2 3 double crochet clusters. I will go ahead and work my last double crochet cluster right here. So 1, 2 and 3. And don't forget to chain 1. Now go ahead on that very first single crochet and slip stitch. So this is how it should look like after you finish the 3rd round. So you see that's very similar of what I have here. Now this 4th round will be a round of single crochet all around, and I will show you how to work it because there is a secret. So go ahead and chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as your first single crochet. Go ahead and single crochet on the very first stitch, another single crochet on the 2nd stitch. Now when you get here, for each of the clusters you will have 2 stitches. this first right here, that is the stitch from the cluster itself, and this one right here, that is that chain one that we did after we finished up the cluster. Because we need to work up our pumpkin in the way that it will shape up, we will skip the actual 3 crochet cluster and we will single crochet on the chain only. So instead of insert the hook right here on the cluster stitch, go ahead and insert the hook right here on that chain, grab the yarn and make a single crochet, and make sure to make it a little bit tighter, because this is what will make the shape of the pumpkin go up like this and not be like opened. Let me show you on the second one. We have the same thing here. For this cluster, we have the actual cluster stitch, and we have that chain one that we chained after the cluster. Go ahead and skip the cluster stitch and insert the hook inside that chain one, grab the yarn and make a single crochet, always making sure it's a little bit tight, so you can see here that it's already like shaping the pumpkin up. Now on the next 2 single crochets, you can just go ahead and single crochet normally. When you get here on the next cluster, just do the same thing, skip the cluster stitch and single crochet on the chain. The same thing with the next one, skip the cluster stitch and single crochet on the chain. One single crochet on the next 2 stitches, and the same thing here, skip the next one, single crochet on that chain, skip the next one, single crochet on that chain. And here I know it's a little bit tricky, but just make sure to crochet it a little bit tight so you can see how it's shaping up the pumpkin right now. So just keep doing it until you get to the end of this round, and when we get to the end of this round, we should have 24 single crochets. Once you get here at the end of this round, go ahead and slip stitch on the very first single crochet. And now what we will do is just repeat the third round all around, which is 2 single crochets, 2 3 double crochet cluster, and just keep doing the same thing around until you finish up the whole round. Just go ahead and chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as our first single crochet. Insert a hook on the very first stitch and make 1 single crochet, another single crochet on the next, and on the 2 following ones we will work 2 3 double crochets cluster. Go ahead and yarn over, insert the hook on the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook inside the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and once more, yarn over, insert the hook inside the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and once you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops and chain 1. Now on the next stitch, work 1 more 3 double crochets cluster, and chain 1 single crochet on each of the next 2 stitches, and on the next 2, 3 double crochet cluster on each of the next 2 stitches. So 1, chain 1, don't forget the chain 1 after the stitch, and on the next one I will work another 3 double crochet cluster, and chain 1. On the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet on each one. Now just keep working 2 single crochets, 2 3 double crochet cluster until we get to the end of this round. I finished my very last 3 double crochet cluster. Go ahead and chain 1 and slip stitch on the very first single crochet. And now we are going to repeat the same round of single crochets all around. So chain 1, and this chain 1 will not count as a single crochet. Insert the hook on the very first stitch and make a single crochet. On the next stitch, another single crochet. And when we get to this point right here, just do the same thing that we did on that previous round of single crochets. Skip this stitch right here, that is the stitch for the cluster, and single crochet on the next one. Skip this one, insert the hook on this one right here, and single crochet. The same thing with the next stitch. Skip this one right here, which is the stitch for the cluster, and single crochet on this one right here, which is the chain 1. Now on the next two stitches, just work 1 single crochet for each one of those. Now we got here at the cluster again, skip the stitch for the cluster and single crochet on the top of that chain 1. The same thing here, skip the stitch for the cluster and single crochet on the top of that chain 1. Always making sure that this round of single crochet is very tight, because this is what will shape our pumpkin up. Moving on here on the next 2 stitches, just go ahead and make 1 single crochet for each one of them. And I'll just keep doing the same thing. Skip the next slip stitch, single crochet on the next one. Skip the next and single crochet on the next one. Just keep doing that until you get to the end of this round. At the end of this round, just go ahead and slip stitch on the very first single crochet. And this last round will be a round of decreases, so we will decrease all around, and at the end of the round we should have 12 single crochets. So go ahead and chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as a single crochet. Insert the hook inside the first stitch and pull up a loop. Now instead of yarn over and pull through those 2 loops to make a single crochet, just go ahead and insert the hook again on the next stitch, pull up a loop, And once you have 3 loops on the hook, go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Let's start a decrease on the next 2 stitches. Insert the hook on the next stitch and pull up a loop. Now insert again on the next one and pull up another loop. And once you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now the same thing on the next 2 stitches. Insert the hook and pull up a loop. Insert the hook on the next one and also pull up another loop. Once you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. I finished up my round of decreases. When you get here the 2 last ones, just go ahead and slip stitch on the very first stitch. So at this point, you see that we have a much smaller hole on the top of the pumpkin. You can go ahead and cut this yarn and just cut a little bit of yarn so we can just weave in the ends. And one other material that I didn't mention at the beginning of this tutorial is the filling. So at this moment right here, it's time to put the filling inside your pumpkin. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll come back with you guys to show you how we will close it out. I filled up my pumpkin with the filler, and you can use anything that you would like to or that you have available. Now, with the help of a tapestry needle, I will sew this tail around this very last round. Just go in and out of each single crochet, and just make sure to do it all around that very last round. So I got here at the very last one. Just pull it tight to close that gap. Go ahead and make just 1 knot just to make sure you will keep the yarn in place. Now go ahead and insert the yarn needle right here on the middle of your pumpkin, on the top of your pumpkin, and bring it all the way down on the bottom of the pumpkin. And now we will go back to the top. Just choose another spot. Do not insert on the same spot. Choose another spot right here next to it. Insert the tapestry needle back and come back to the top. Now we will just pull it a little bit just to create that shape for the pumpkin. And when you get here on the top, just go ahead and make some knots just to make sure that yarn will not like get loose. If you make 1 or 2, just choose some spots and make 1 or 2 knots just to make sure you will not get loose. Now you can go ahead and just insert and weave in the end inside the pumpkin. I will cut this yarn right here. And then we should be all set with the pumpkin. Now go ahead and grab your piece of felt, and what we'll do is just make a roll like this. Just make a small roll, and you will put some hot glue right here and close it. So you should have a small roll like this, and grab your jute twine and use it to make a little bow. And now you can just stick this to your pumpkin using the hot glue gun, and this is how your pumpkin should look like when it's ready. So here I have my 3 pumpkins finalized, and I'm very happy with the result. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. I also have a bigger version of the pumpkin, and you can find it on my Etsy store. I will leave the link down below on the information box, and you feel free to go check it out. And if you decide to make one of those, please don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I will make sure to feature in my stories, and I will be very happy to see your work and your project. And as I said, you can use it, you can add it to your decor, or you can use it as I am planning to use it. Just stick it to a napkin ring, or probably just put a different color, and it will make a beautiful and very cute napkin ring for your Thanksgiving tablescape. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Bye!